I have officially started my mass gaining part of my off season last week, so pretty much 8 days ago, and I was 283.5 when I came back from Vegas, and now let's see. So I responded pretty good to all the meals and stuff because it took me a week to get to 300. Last off season, it took me months to get to 300, and I was force feeding myself. I was eating a bunch of like junk food too at the same time, just to make sure I would reach that number in my head. And just last week, I ate my meals, and I kept it clean for the most part, and I started training a little bit harder, sore everywhere, and boom, I'm responding. So it's pretty exciting, because the goal is always to beat your previous self. And so let's take a look at my previous self. So yeah, I actually have a file. Where it's gonna be an ebook. I got my whole prep 2019 with the diet modifications and the pictures. So I guess I can show you. So this is the file, and you can see the start. Whoop, it's loading. Yeah, so the start here, 2019 chronological order, the diet, and in January I was 300, and I look like that. So let's say if we fast forward, because there's progress here, fast forward to before my bicep tear. My diet was 4 weeks out. I was 260. Only 20 minutes of treadmill, elliptical with posing. Yeah, not that much cardio, right? And those were the pictures. The glutes were coming in. Yeah, so the goal is to beat that. And to beat that, the best I can do is right now, during the off season, the best I can do is to make sure I eat all my meals day in and day out. That's the plan. So I'm gonna explain to you my current diet, because I keep all my diets here. All right, so I'm gonna take the training day. So I got the weights 5 times a week, 3 days on, 1 day off, 2 on, 1 off. So Thursdays off usually, Sundays off usually, and I do cardio 6 times a week if I can, and it's 25 minutes, and every 5 minutes I do 1 minute very hard, like intervals. So that's ideal here. So I get up too late usually to do that lately, but I'm trying to correct that. Wake up at 8, meal 1 at 9:30, 2 whole eggs, 4 ounces of chicken, 100 grams of creamy rice or wheat, a third of a cup of berries, teaspoon of fish oil. Meal 2, 6 ounces of chicken breast, 300 grams of rice. Meal 3, pre-workout, around 3, 6 ounces of chicken breast, 300 grams of rice, weight cooked, a quarter cup, half a cup of pineapple. I train at 4:30 to 6. That's the plan usually. Post-workout at 6 is the cluster bomb, all that stuff. Meal 4, post-workout meal at 7, 6 ounces of chicken breast, 300 grams of white rice, a cup of orange juice. Meal 5, tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, 8 ounces of steak or grass-fed beef, ground beef, 300 grams of white rice. Meal 6, which I'm gonna have very soon, 8 ounces of salmon, 200 grams of organic white rice. And the off day is very similar, but the rice is a little bit reduced to 250 instead of 300. Not too bad, right? So the goal here Like my days are, my priority is eating those meals. My days revolve around. I gotta make sure I eat this meal in 2 hours, and then I'm not hungry. I gotta force myself to eat this meal. It's like on my head right now. What preoccupies my mind the most is my next meal. Make sure I get my meals in. So it's maybe very weird for the average person, or for a competitive bodybuilder who's trying to move up the ranks as a pro. He's gonna stress out about those things. Well, I'm not stressing out, but I'm like, I'm preoccupied by it, and I should be, because there's guys out there that are huge. The guys are huge, so I gotta gain some muscles to be, a par with them. Because the last contest I did last year, because I couldn't compete this year because of my injury, I was like 248, and I was just like a smaller guy on stage. So this year I was going to be 260, but to be really big at my height, I think I got to be over 270 pounds on stage, which means off season I might have to be 320, 330, who knows, eventually. But I'm not in a rush. The best I can do, like I said, is make sure that I eat all those meals day after day after day after day, and then when it's time to shred, that's not too hard for me. I just, it's even easier to diet. The hardest part of dieting is the off season, because you gotta discipline yourself to eat your meals, to remember to eat your meals, to sit down and force to eat your meals because you're not hungry. So you have to consciously write it down on your phone, or just follow the plan, or make sure, it's been 2 hours, let's eat the meal. Because when you're dieting, you're looking forward to your next meal. You're like, please, next meal come, so you're never gonna miss out on the meal, right? Because you're dieting, you're starving. But when you're in the off season, that's not the situation. You gotta use the discipline that you use in prep to not eat like junk food or stuff you're not supposed to eat. You gotta use that discipline to actually eat the food. It's like the opposite. But that's why it's fun. It's when you're doing stuff that nobody else wants to do. Let's also see where my right arm is at, size-wise. Okay. So the smallest I've measured it post-surgery was 18.3 inches. Okay. So let's see how much I've gained. Well, I already know how much I gained. I'll tell you after, but oh, come on now. All right. That was good. See? 20 inches cold. It's coming back because the other arm is okay. So this one here is 20 and a half. Is that equal? I think so. Yeah. 20 and a half. Here we go. So I got 0.5 inches more on this one. But the thing is that I've always had 0.5 more on this one. And I just started training this one here. So I'm wondering if this one actually will be bigger than before. And it's getting there. So when I was 283.5, and the reason why I've gained like 17 pounds in a week is because I was traveling in Vegas and stuff like that, and I was moving around. I was probably a little bit dehydrated when I weighed myself in the morning, and I didn't eat enough meals. Even if I cheated more, I didn't get enough food in me. So when I started getting 6 meals a day and training and drinking all the water and the fluids, I gained a lot of weight that I should have already had. Understand? But what the cool thing is that my arm was 19.4, and now it's like 20. So I gained 0.6 inches in 1 week. So that's pretty cool. So the muscles is getting back, right? I just need a lot more size in the bicep, more size. You know what I've noticed also? If you want to talk about the bicep, there's a mirror, that's why I'm looking in the back there. But here, if you would touch here, you could actually feel the brachialis muscle. So when I'm like that, it's still kind of thick. This one here, it feels like there's none there. So I need to build back some brachialis with some hammer curls. See, there it is. Too small. But I can go to 25 pounds now, no problem. And I do the BFR training, and I'm getting good pumps in it. Oh, and I've started doing the wrist roll. Just a second. Yeah, I started doing this tonight. I went just to do cardio. Remember the old school wrist rolls? But this one's like a really good quality one. Look at it. It's pretty thick, you know. And so you put the weight on this, and you just roll up and down for the forearm. So my friend Juji Mufu and my friend Tom sent this to me. They actually make their own. The brand is called Grip Genie on Instagram. Just check them out if you want. But yeah, so that video is a little bit about the beginning of my off season. It has begun. We're doing this, and I'm going to document everything on the Rick on One channel and my own channel. So please subscribe to the Rick on One channel and to mine if you want to also. And yeah, have a good day. And if you have any questions about my off season, comment below. And don't forget to press the like button too. See ya.